Hello and welcome to this Gauntlet Hangout game of Tall Pines. A game very much and not secretly based on a very famous crime show called Twin Peaks. Nobody's heard of that, I'm sure. I have some very nice and cool players with me today that I'm sure is gonna rock the socks out of this story game. I have Matthias and Tina with me from Germany, and Tyler all the way from the US. Happy to have you. I'm gonna first go through a little bit about how the game works. This is firstly, I'm going to read like a small text blob of what the game is about. It's a tragedy has befallen the sleepy mountain town of Tall Pines. One of its best and brightest, a young local with a promising future, has been killed, murdered horribly in the prime of their youth. Together, we will unravel the mystery of their death, discover what it means for our little town, and possibly even learn who have done it. But we may learn more than we ever wanted to know. This is a game also that's like as Twin Peaks is, a little bit in the surreal, weird genre, and also like the game mechanics leans a little bit on that. I will now shortly explain the rules. As you see here, we have under the box with the current scene, we have 6 protagonists. We'll all share these protagonists. They will be the main characters of our game, except the victim, which we will together make shortly when we start playing. We have the local sheriff, the federal agent, the best friend, the bad influence, the private therapist, and the student filmmaker. There are more protagonists than this. But as you can also, when you have a deck, you can also just draw them and have a random cast. But as we are on the internet and there's a lot of work, and they have both custom sides, we just have these. And we can't really draw it from a deck in Roll20, unfortunately, because it won't make a deck out of cards that have 2 different sides, unfortunately. But we have this cast here, which is supposed to be the solid base cast for a game of Tall Pines. How the game works is that we will first we'll make the victim. We will then play 3 acts. Each act will have 4 scenes. So we'll each start 1 scene. The cards, the scenes will be based on the cards. You will have a prompt on the cards, and each scene will have at least 1 protagonist. So you'll look at your cards, see, okay, is there any scene that do I have an idea on a scene about any of these? Okay, I'm gonna put one of these protagonists in there, and then you just start the scene like a story game kind of game. The one who starts the scene also decides when it's over. How Tall Pines is different from a lot of story games is that your scene is not necessarily yours for the whole scene. We can also interrupt with taking our cards and putting them in the scene. So I can, I'm just gonna hijack the scene by putting either one of my scene cards or one of the symbol cards that are below here. What is important to note is that you can't draw a new act card before you have played one of the symbol cards. So if you don't have any cards on your hand when it's your turn, then you don't have a scene. So that could be important to keep in mind, that you either don't use all your cards before it's your scene, if you're late in the scene round, or that you play one of the symbol cards. this might not make totally sense. It also says in the book, but so do you have any questions about it?
The symbol cards are the ones with the pictures down there.
Yes.
Okay.
So the way they work is just like, I mean, it's very like story game loose thingy. Just if you think it fits, put it in a scene somehow. Like make it take the scene, describe how it is in the scene, and then like just play it out. Like in most story games, well, the person who plays the protagonist, well, the first person who starts the scene will play the protagonist that they put in the scene. Any other characters will be assigned to other players, like we often do in story games. So we'll have the same characters during the whole scene. It's just the introduction of things in the scene that changes. Yeah, pretty much. So and then, like I said, the person who starts the scene then decides when it's over. There's also another thing. I'm gonna give you a secret card each. Let's see. I'm just gonna find the secret card here. So let's see. I'm gonna deal one secret card to Tina and one secret card. So yeah, all of us will have like a secret card. How this works is that if you see on the protagonist cards and also your own cards, they all have a suit. It's shame, resolve, and understanding. And if a scene has the suit that's on your secret card, you get to play your secret, and then you get like another scene which interjects something weird and crazy into the story. Yes, let's see. I'm gonna deal the rest of these also.
So the suit is the shame, and the suits are shame and secret. No, not secret. Yeah, understanding, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that was wrong. I gave you one more.
We have one secret card for all 3 acts, or per act?
Yes.
Okay, so
I gave too much secrets to Tyler, so I'm gonna steal one of them. Let's see, and then one also to Matthias here. Let's see, secret 4. Yes, now we all have a secret, I think, hopefully. So, yes, let's see. Have I forgotten something? Yes, there's also one thing we need to. I'm gonna try to keep track of that. Like, we're gonna also, if you see on top next to the current scene, on the right, there is a Act 1 close card. This will be the closing scene of the act. We will know beforehand what the closing scene is. So it's like useful to look at that and see like, okay, so this is where we're gonna end. So our Act 1 close scene is when everyone has started one scene in this act, whoever last saw a murder on TV starts a new scene with this prompt. Reporters, film crews, and at least one news helicopter has shown up to dig into the story of the tragedy and splash the victim's name across the national screens. When a reporter turns to the camera on you, ... And the theme of this scene is the suit that has had the most instances in the act. So I'm going to try to keep track of that. But so, for example, if it's shame, it says something about shame. What that means? Let's see here. Shame. Shame means the urge to hide the details of the murder from outsiders and pretend like everything is okay. Resolve means the will to see the murderers brought to justice and thus exercise evil from tall pines like a demon. And understanding means the impulse to rationalize the murderer's action or sympathize with their position. So I think like this is this is a lot of info right away, but we'll also like if there's any questions, that's pretty much like all the rules. So we'll if you have any questions, just like shout out or put your hand up or something like that. And I also have like a suggestion for how to interject. I think we can do it as we did like I tried last week when we played Lovecraft Tusk, and just put like your hand up. So the one having the scene then stops and lets the narrative go over to the person who puts their card out. Cool. I think that should be everything. Is there any questions about anything? Perfect. You have no questions. That means my explanation of the rules was perfect. So yeah, what we'll do first is to make some details up about the victim. How this is going to work is that we'll all choose like a protagonist now in this round while we're doing the victim thing. The player who wrote the game is starting, so it's me. And if you look at all the protagonist cards, there is a question prompt which says something about the crime in a way. So, for example, on the local sheriff, it says, "What outside influence do you suspect somehow is responsible for the murder?" So that is a prompt that will say something about the victim. In the end, we'll also name the victim. And also, while we're doing this, the one antagonist card we choose, we'll also name them. So I'm gonna start. And I think I'm gonna... I think I'm gonna choose the best friend. I think the best friend's name is Jessica, or Jess for short. I think what part of the victim's life did you envy the most? I think she envied the victim's creativity. I think they see themselves as kind of like regular, and their friend wasn't that way, and they really envy that. Like, she's probably or they're probably gonna go places while Jessica feels like she's gonna be stuck in tall pines. So I'm gonna write the name over here. And then put N use of.
So, is Jessica your character for the rest of the game?
Oh.
Yeah.
We all share the antagonists, so they're all our characters. But just for this round, it is. But yeah, it's like when you choose when you make the scene, you choose which character you're gonna play for that scene. What is the main character for that scene? Which could be any of the characters, also Jessica. You wanna go next, Tyler?
Yeah, I suppose I can. I'm a little nervous on getting this one. Let's see. I think I want to do the bad influence. And so I need to name the bad influence. And I'm going to name him Jesse.
Jesse and Jessica.
Yeah. And what did the victim tell you they were scared of? I think that she was scared. Was telling me that let's see, we've decided she's creative. We haven't determined what that is, right? I think she was a painter, and she was scared because when she would paint, she kept noticing this same person was in her paintings. She didn't feel like she was putting this person in there, but when a painting was done, she kept seeing this same person in all of her paintings.
Cool. That's very tone appropriate. Yeah, and we also have gendered our victim, it seems. Yeah, cool. So Jesse and Jessica. And yes, also I just forgot. We of course used the X card for this. So if there's any team you're uncomfortable with, just put the X. Well, actually, that's an advantage of using Roll20 as well. If you either just say it or you can just put it in a chat there, and it will make a sound, so we'll all notice. Of course, no questions asked. Cool. Yeah. Tina, do you have a protagonist card you're eyeing?
Yeah. I think I'm taking the federal agent, but I don't know. I guess that's kind of silly, but I think her name is Angela Carter. I think I've heard that name before. Someone else has that name, but I don't remember who. Well, the federal agent is Angela Carter, and what connects this murder to the case you've been following is her question. I think it has something to do with the person the victim keeps painting. Maybe it's appeared in someone else's paintings who's also died in some way. Or maybe even photographs.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Maybe, yes, I think
So we had like
who's
all kinds of artists that has like in different forms.
I think another victim was a photographer, and he or she, I don't know, he, I guess, photographed that person and in crowds and all over the place. Not as a main subject, but just hiding in corners somewhere. And it's the same person who's in the paintings.
Very cool. Cool. So yeah, the person who was in the victim's painting is the main subject of other murdered artists' paint. No, other murdered artists. Well, is it a single? Like, is it one time this has happened, or?
Well, I think it's just one case, but maybe others could appear. I'm not coming up with another art media that could have. I mean, you could be writing songs or poetry about someone, but how would you recognize them? So, not sure yet. Just one for now.
Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Yeah. And Matthias, you have one?
Yep. I think I'm going to pick the local sheriff. And his name is Glenn Caper. Glenn Caper, the question there is, what outside influence do you suspect is somehow responsible for the murder? And I think Glenn Caper is convinced that that the construction of the new luxury business retreat right outside of town is something that's like only something like that would disrupt the perfect bliss that is Tall Pines.
Yeah, that's awesome. What kind of retreat was it, did you say?
Like a luxury business retreat, right? Where companies book for a weekend and people go there and do weird team exercise, team building exercises.
I love that. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so yeah, what aspect? I'm gonna choose the private therapist, I think. I think yeah, maybe it's connected to what the local sheriff thinks. It must be like, yeah, I think it's I think it's because like there was this on the murder scene there was like I think the victim was like formed like an arrow towards Tall Pines. It was outside of town, and it was like written on a tree with like it was like with wood, like with a knife carved out, and it said and it was like filled with the blood of the victim, and it says Tall Pines is cursed or something like that. And I think like the most people are like, well, I mean, some people are like, well, I mean, that's obviously bullshit, but I think there's still like this kind of awkward, but it's very uncomfortable kind of like, yeah, I'm sure that's not true. That's silly, right? Let's see. Oh.
What did you name them?
Oh yeah, private therapist. I think the private therapist name is Olaf. He has a Norwegian heritage, of course. Olaf Eriksson. Cool. Yeah, let's see if I can write this down as well. put in a position like an arrow. Toward Tall Pines. And it was written in blood. Cool. So then we have this student filmmaker left. You have any ideas for them, Tyler? Tyler?
Yeah. I think I do have an interesting idea if it's okay with everyone. I think our student filmmaker is going to be named Raven. And she is very androgynous, kind of styles herself to look like Andy Warhol. And just goes by Raven. And kind of is an auteur, you know, just this idea of, you know, the deep artistic type of movies, and it's probably a little bit on the pompous side. But what movie character does the victim remind you of? I think that she believes our victim reminds her a lot of oh shoot, now I can't remember the name. Damn it. Okay, let me go with someone else because I can't remember the name there. Let's
or what movie?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the has anybody seen The Hunger? With Susan Sarandon and David Bowie and Catherine Deneuve, vampire movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember Catherine Deneuve's character, but I may have to change that off because I can't remember for the life of me the name of it.
We can Catherine Deneuve, Miriam Blaylock.
There we go. She believes that she was, you know, this beautiful, talented person, but that actually she had some dark secret, some immortality about her. And so this death has really shocked Raven. She thought she was just impossible to, you know, would live forever, would always be beautiful, and had probably, you know, made her part of films on occasion, maybe even without our victim knowing.
Cool. And lastly, we are lacking a name for the victim. Does anyone have any ideas?
Difficult.
I was thinking like Sarah or something. Yeah, let's see. And maybe a last name too. Sarah Cole. Let's see. Yes. Gonna put. Cool. So now we have our victim and the names of our characters. Now we are going to start with the game. Like, does anyone have any questions before we start with the scenes? Like, pretty much how this is, just to repeat, is that we are gonna have a look at our cards. The first one to have an idea can start based on the prompts there. They're gonna choose their scene card and an antagonist to put in the a protagonist to put in the scene. And then start describing a scene. So what is a good point of reference here too is to try to introduce the scene like in a movie, because it's kind of like cinematic with the like aesthetic of the weird Twin Peaks kind of feel. Whenever the other characters feel like, oh yeah, this is cool, I can put maybe one of the symbol cards or one of the scene cards that they have in the scene. They put their hand up and start narrating. Every player can put max 1 card in every scene, and there can be max 3 cards in a scene in total. So for now, and the player who started the scene decides when it stops.
Okay, and so when you start a scene, do you call for someone to be in it, or do they only arrive when they interrupt?
Given that we don't have any like characters that are ours, you do say like the normal, where are we? What's going on? Who's there? If there's other people there than the one person that you put in the scene, assign them to someone, and then we can start the scene. Any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The acts that are written on our secret, no, not secret, on our hand cards, do they always have to be Act 1? Because I only have Act 1 cards. Does everyone have Act 1 cards? That's
yes, they don't always have to be Act 1 cards, because when you get to Act 2, I'm going to deal you Act 2.
Ah, okay, I see.
But for Act 1, it's going to be just those cards, yeah.
Okay.
And whenever you use if you use a symbol card in a scene, you can draw a new Act 1 card. If you, I don't know if you can do that, but tell me and I will deal it to you.
Okay.
So usually these shows kind of start off with the finding of the body, right? I don't think I have a good card for that. I have an idea for a scene, but that would already be like follow-up to that.
Yeah.
Unless we want to presuppose that is not
I have a scene for that, actually. Yeah, I have a scene for that. I actually have a card that says where they were found.
Oh.
So yeah, good call. I'm gonna set the scene then. Just see. Cool. So. Yeah, I'm gonna put the local sheriff into this one, I think. And I think actually, let's put Jesse in there too. I think Jesse found the body. So I'm gonna give Jesse to Matthias, if it's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be Glenn Caper, Sheriff Caper. So yes, let's see here. There is it's like it's on like a cold beach, like against like a logging road. There's more like pebbles there than sand. Just where the river like widens out. The crime scene tape like flutters in the wind. It's a pretty like gray day. I think it's even a little like misty. The body is like still. I think there's like the car with the they don't have like a coroner here or something. I think they don't have like a car for that. But like it's like Sheriff Caper's car is there, and there's I think it's like after the scene. Actually, I think it's after like the body has been moved. But you see, like when you come there, you see first like the scene when the body was lying there, and I think probably Jesse like over the dead body, like like crying, and then it's like maybe half an hour or like an hour later or something, the body's just gone away, and Caper's like, so can I drive you? Can I drive you somewhere? You okay?
Yeah, and I think she's like wrapped in one of those emergency blankets, and is basically chain smoking, with like shaking hands and I live just up the road. I was going for walk with Timmy there, and we see like a dog that's been tied up on the side of the road, right? That's like looks super calm. Nothing's wrong with the world. When I and like she stares at the place where the body was, not is anymore, right? And has that has that look there, and who would do something horrible like that? Right?
Yeah, and I think like Caper is like, yeah, I can't think of anyone from Tall Pines that would do something like that. Nothing like that ever happens in our town. But are you okay? Can I have a donut in my car.
And she just nods as if she like, I don't think she's really listening all too well, and it's like, yes, that would be lovely.
Oh, good. Yes, I'm gonna drive you home too. I think that's yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pulls out another cigarette to light it.
Yeah, it's fine. You can smoke in the car. No problem. You had a hard day.
I'm sorry. Apologies. And Jihav wants to throw the just lit cigarette on the ground, but then doesn't. Yeah. And kind of lets herself be led off, I guess, by Caper.
Yeah, I think like he when you don't put it in the ground, he's like, oh, she actually takes the cigarette in the car. Well, okay. Here's a donut. It's my favorite frosting.
And now I have a cigarette and a donut, and thank you. Like hesitantly bite into it, leaving like sugar powder everywhere.
Yeah, it's banana and chocolate. It's really good, right?
It is banana chocolate. Yeah. Yes, officer.
Oh, call me Glenn. But yeah,
Glenn?
Yeah, Glenn. Yes.
I'm Jesse.
Are you taking the dog?
Oh my god! Yeah. She completely forgot about Timmy, and maybe we even start driving or something, right? Like 10 paces, and like, and she almost opens the door, so you have to step on the brake and runs out
fuck!
to get.
Calm down. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Oh, the dog.
Yeah. And probably soon after you've got a dog on the back seat.
Yeah, and it says something like, yeah, my wife is always very angry when I bring dog hairs home.
Oh,
but it's okay. You had a rough day. Take more. I have another donut if you want.
I think I'm fine. I think I just need to get home and lie down.
Yeah. I'm gonna come pick you up tomorrow for some questioning. Okay.
Okay.
You were out walking your dog, right?
Yes, Timmy. Timmy, are you okay? And she starts giving him attention and like checking on him. Oh my god, so horrible that you had to witness that. And
yeah, maybe the dog is the murderer. Huh. Oh, never mind. Here's the house.
yes, thank you, officer.
Glenn. Glenn. Just call me Glenn.
Glenn. Yes, I'm Jesse.
Yes, I know. I know Jesse.
I take 2 steps and then I'm like, oh, here's your blanket, right? And then try to give you the blanket through the car window.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna give it back to the corner.
Oh.
But thank you. I'm gonna pick you up tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Have a good night then.
Good night, Glenn.
Yeah, and I think like the scene cuts when like he's like I think it's like standing there like outside the driveway for a little while and it's like looking at the half-eaten donut and like the blanket that is on top of it, halfway on top of it, and he's like, and it like takes it and takes a bite and then drives off. I think that scene.
Can I ask a clarifier real quick? Was that I may have made a big mistake when I made Jesse as a character? Was that Jessica or Jesse that was in that scene?
Jesse.
It was Jesse.
Jesse, yeah.
Okay, cool. The bad influence. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to discover how this person was a bad influence. Huh? Well, so I think we'll go for the next to the right in like after the thing in Roll20. So
and does your card go up somewhere that you played for the scene?
Oh yes, it does. I was supposed to do that when we started the scene actually. Up here. So we had resolve. And we had resolve as well from no, shame from Carper.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a suit under like the characters. So also a detail I forgot to say is that if you see on all the antagonist cards, there's also like a prompt. If you sought details about the murder in the last scene, flip this card over. I don't think actually Caper did do that. And we didn't have 3 cards in the scene, so there's no secret.
Jesse had, if you showed your feelings in the last scene, flip this card over. I don't. I assume this kind of pertains to who the victim is, or personal feelings, not just like seeing, oh, I discovered the body. That just is upsetting.
Yeah, and I think like it's meant to be like the main like character in the scene, not necessarily all the others. I think at least. Yeah. So the next scene, if it's okay, we'll go to Tina. Do you have a idea for a prompt or a scene?
Well, I have a card in their bedroom, which would maybe fit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, well, I need to take those scene cards from my hand, right?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I put them in the card scene thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But or maybe Unwanted company. Oh, yeah. I think I'm playing the unwanted company, and I'm putting it into the current scene box, right? Oh, no, my secret card instead. Aha. How can I put it back?
You right-click it and take card.
Oh my god. Has anybody read it?
Nope, too small.
What? But why didn't the right card? Ah, it worked. So, I think it's a scene again with the I think it's again the local sheriff and also the federal agent who turns up just to mess things up, in the local sheriff's opinion. And I'm not sure where to put it. Maybe just in the sheriff department.
Yeah.
And of course there's a coffee machine and maybe a secretary.
Who's playing the federal agent?
I'm not sure who would like to. I could play, no. Would I play the sheriff or the agent?
Tyler, maybe, since you didn't play anyone in the last scene.
Yeah, I can play the agent. You want the sheriff as the main character?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So, oh. So I have a question about the cards, the local sheriff card. If you saw details about the murder in the last scene, flip this card over. So I'm doing this after this scene if I'm gonna seek details, right?
Like after each scene, we check if you hit the prompt there, and we also check if we have the suit for the secret. So last scene we didn't touch upon the prompt, and we didn't have enough card to get the suit.
Okay. Well, I think Caper is at the sheriff's department and at his desk, just making phone calls about everything that needs to be done when a body's been found, and then just calling the parents, I guess. And we know who the victim is, right? Because our friend found her. And that's when Agent Carter appears.
Sheriff Caper. Federal Agent Carter.
Yes. Oh. I didn't know the feds were in on this. Why is the case federal?
Well,
it's just a local murder.
We had heard that there was something a little unusual about this when I was in the area. Thought I could stop by, maybe give a little help to you locals. Sheriff Caper, could you use a little help?
I'm not quite sure, but well, he takes his coffee cup and sits down. Well, I have some suspicions about outsiders.
Outsiders?
So, yes. There's this resort retreat thing that's opened, and it must be outsiders, so maybe you could help and find out who these outsiders are and what they're up to.
Well, I'd be more than happy to take a look in on these outsiders you're talking about. I can only guess you've got some theories already, though, right, Sheriff Caper?
Oh, I'm a little embarrassed to say specifics, but these people are doing some weird ritualistic kind of, I'm not sure it's ritual, but it's kind of satanic, maybe.
Satanic, you say, Sheriff Caper.
These people are doing weird role-playing, team-building things that just strange. They're just strange, I have to say.
Well, Sheriff, I certainly wouldn't want us to have satanic businessmen killing locals now, would we?
Certainly not. I think not, no.
Well, I'll be happy to go up and make a few inquiries if you would like. I can report back here to your office.
That would be excellent. I'm really busy with interviewing all the locals and friends and family of the victim, so that would be a huge help. Yes.
You don't mind sharing what you find with me now, do you?
I don't know about the paperwork for that. How would that work bureaucratically?
Well, Sheriff, surely we can just help each other in a, whatever way we can. I'll do a little interview here, you do your interviews, and we'll just share what we know. It could be on an informal basis, of course.
Hmm.
I'm just here to help, Sheriff.
I guess so. I guess we can do that. Yes. All right. Thank you, Agent Carter. Thank you.
No problem, Sheriff. Happy to be of service. I think we see Agent Carter take a bite of a donut.
Right.
Yeah, I think like on the way out, like there's the secretary called, I think she's called like Margot or something. She like comes over like to the agent, like taps her on the shoulders, like, you haven't, don't listen to the sheriff. He's getting, he won't see anything if it's even in front of his eyes. There's a lot of suspicious people around. I think I have some prime candidates for interviews and interrogation.
Well, ma'am, why don't you you feel free to jot those down and hand those to me. Whatever the sheriff can't find, I assure you that I'm more than interested in looking into.
Well, as sorry.
Yeah, I think I like. Oh yeah, especially this Raven kid. I saw him going down that way that evening. Well, at least like along the road. It's very strange to go along the road that late at night, I think. Don't you think?
It certainly sounds strange to me. Yes, ma'am. I'll make sure. And Raven, you say?
Yes. He's a student. He went in the class with the Cole girl, Sarah, wasn't it?
Sarah. All right. I'll make sure and maybe make a polite inquiry about this Raven.
Oh, it makes me so relieved that the federal agency said someone here. I feel much safer now. Thank you.
Carter will smile and nod.
As they're talking, the sheriff is just moving past them and looking at them quizzically, and Jesse is coming in for questioning, I think, and I think that's the end of the scene.
Nice.
Cool. So yeah, we got another shame one this round, and understanding. So we still didn't get enough for a suit, but we got this is a good example of how we could introduce like a symbol card. So it's just like someone lying. This was, I guess you could also have done that on the last one, Matthias, where you had a dog, because there's a dog on the.
Yeah.
But you just.
I thought maybe it would need to be more impactful. Now, like the dog is out there, and anyone can use them when he actually bites someone.
Yeah, you introduced it, so yeah.
Petrov's dog.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the lie the secretary told Margot
that she had seen Raven going along the road.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he just
But
hates
why
that
would she
Raven
lie?
has-
So yeah.
Does that mean that the prompt card, your lie card, does it go away now? So it's out of the...
Yes,
Gotcha.
and we draw a new one. So let's see. One card. Let's see if we can get the interesting prompt here. There you go. Oh my god. Keys or something.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a new prompt card. And I can also draw one card from the Act 1 deck. So, the next scene is Tyler.
So question, why do you get to draw an Act 1 card?
Because I introduced a symbol card.
Ah, okay.
All right. So I'll play a card out and set a scene. Okay. I think I want to do, let's see, I'm going to select card, drag it up here. I can manage it. There we go. Yeah. And I think we're going to have Jesse and Raven. Someone would like to play Raven.
Jesse or Jessica?
Let's go with Jessica, actually. I was thinking Jesse, but Jesse's still got the scene at the sheriff. So, yeah, let's go with Jessica. So Jessica and Raven, and I picture this as like an abandoned house out in the woods where the kids go and they drink and they have their little romantic liaisons, and somewhere that the adults don't see them. So a place for young people to go and do their things out of the sight of adults. And the two of them are together to talk about what's happened. And, they probably got them a bottle of wine they're sharing between each other. And I suppose who would like to play Raven?
I can play him.
Okay. Raven, you've heard Sarah's dead.
Yes. It's so sad.
We were the best of friends. She and I, we'd known each other for years and years, and now she's gone. Who would have done this? Who would hurt Sarah?
Well, in most like crime movies, it's someone close to them, maybe like lover or family, best friend.
Jessica's face sort of drops at that.
Oh no! I didn't mean you. No, of course not. You would never do such a thing, would you?
No, never. I loved her. I mean, we were best friends. I would never have hurt her. Not like that. They say that somebody cut her up really bad.
Yeah, I think you see like almost like I think Raven has like this kind of conflicted reaction to this, like in his face. It's like, almost like a little excited, and then yes, not supposed to be excited about this, and it's like yes, it's very tragic. Who would do such a terrible thing? I'm thinking maybe. Did you know she went to a therapist? Yeah, Matthias.
Yeah, I want to let's see if I'm doing this right. I want to bring up their other reputation, which reads theory of the crime is gaining traction among local teens, but who besides kids could believe something so far-fetched? And I think you hear a creaking from the side, and as you or as the camera pans over, someone seems to be sitting there, apparently like in cargo pants, but the face and upper body is completely in the shadows. And then you see like an orange glow in the darkness. And then as you see him leaning forward, we see Kevin, like a local podhead who's been smoking here. And he's going, or it could be that old legend. Every 13 years, someone innocent must be sacrificed, so that tall pines remains protected from the outside world. And the protection is slowly faltering.
Oh, holy shit. Kevin, you do you really believe that?
That's what they say.
Oh, don't listen to that, to Kevin. You're so full of shit. That sounds like a plot from like a horrible C movie or something.
It's not like they would be telling us, would it? Would they know? And he leans back, like super self-satisfied with.
Well, they do say there was a message carved in a tree that we were cursed. Maybe Kevin's right. Maybe we're cursed, and if somebody sweet and innocent isn't sacrificed, then it could get us all. Does that sound like scene, or you have something you want to add to that? Okay. Yeah. I like that as scene.
Yeah.
Cool. And we got 3 times shame in this scene, so
yeah, something special happens then, right?
No, it's when you have like the suit of if you look at on your cards, if you have that suit in the scene, like I have resolve, shame, and if that combination goes up, my secret card comes into play. I think you have understanding, resolve, and there's understanding, shame on Tyler's, and resolve, understanding on Tina's. So that's when the secret comes into play. That's also something I guess we could aim for when we're choosing things, I guess. That is indeed possible.
Where do we see that?
It's it's the thing is that it's on the back of your cards. Oh. So if you see like you see it on on the hand down by the icon, you see the colors of the suit.
Gotcha. I see.
So yeah, we had cool. So we have one more scene in this act, which is Matthias' scene. I'm gonna delete this here. And then we have the Act 1 close scene. You have a scene card in mind, Matthias?
Yeah, I do. Oh, let's maybe try to hit a secret if we can. Let's just try it. I think this is Agent Carter going to Olaf's praxis, right? To interview them about what they know about Sarah. So I think so I guess I'll be playing Agent Carter, and the card that I have here is I can't. So they reached out for help before things got quite so bad. Tragically, the help that was needed didn't come in time. But yeah, to potentially, we'll see if it happens or not. I'm going to be playing Agent Carter.
Who's playing Olaf?
Could be Olaf.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. And I think I'm probably interrupting. I don't know how you feel, but I'm interrupting you with some kind of not actual work, but whatever leisure activity it is that you do. Yeah.
He's reading psychology books for fun.
Yeah, so
how does the office look?
I think this is one of those at first glance it might seem like, oh yeah, this is a would be a super nice cozy living room with a great view down over over the woods, like a panorama front, glass front, right? But I think the way the room is decorated is like this half shell of a seat in which Olaf is sitting, and a super uncomfortable looking couch for the patient. And I think we might pan across some dioramas hung up on the wall, which are like almost more like cases with a glass front, and inside there's like super strange stuff like Barbie dolls with heads removed and other heads attached, and like some kind of like practical exercises for patients that had to work through some trauma, but dialed up to this just looks creepy and stuff. And those are like on the walls that we see there. And yeah. And one side is obviously bookshelf filled with everything, all the psychology books that Olaf Eriksson has. And I think we see like Agent Carter being led inside by the assistant or whatever, and standing in the wide doorway, looking over. There's even like 2 steps down towards the main floor of the room, and she steps down and kind of goes straight for the windows to look out of the windows. Has her hands in her in the pockets of her pants and goes, so Mr. Eriksson.
Sorry, you are who?
I'm
Excuse me?
Agent Angela Carter. I'm here to... Well, I need to ask you a couple of questions about a patient of yours.
Oh,
Last evening.
You're not talking about the murdered girl, aren't you?
You know?
I've heard
Yes.
murmurings.
They found Sarah Cole at the beach last night.
I mean, this beach that's beyond the forest you can see from my window? This
Oh, is that the case? And Agent Carter looks down. Yeah, I suppose you can. Over there.
Oh my, it's disturbing. I'm sorry. This is really disturbing to me.
She was a patient of yours, this Sarah Cole.
Yes, you could say that.
Wait,
What?
she was, right?
Yes, she was a patient, yes.
Well,
I'm sure you understand that I cannot really talk about her without a warrant or something. About doctor-patient confidentiality.
I mean, she's dead, Mr. Erickson. She was murdered.
Yes, but I'm not sure how it really works. Out of character.
I don't either. I'm just...
Okay.
I mean, that sounds like a perfect thing that you would actually say in character, I think.
Yes.
Okay, then he says it in character. I'm actually not sure if I'm supposed to tell you anything. And I don't really trust you telling me the truth.
And Agent Carter's kind of taken aback. Mr. Erickson, if you know anything that could help solve this heinous crime, you're quite obligated to talk to us.
I am? Oh, I see. I mean, this is a disturbing event, and I'm trying to help any way I can. So
we
yes.
could call you in for questioning, and you could get in touch with a lawyer if you want to do the whole roundabout.
I'm sure that won't be necessary. Please just sit down and we can have a I am asking my assistant for some coffee. Would you like some coffee?
Oh yes,
Maybe.
please. And feeling like, oh yeah, I broke. Now we can actually talk about something. She sits down on the couch and it's like, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah, well.
So, what was Sarah actually in treatment for?
Sarah, well, she had some strange. Well, what can I say? She was often quite depressed, and mainly because she thought she had some strange visions and paintings. She felt compelled to paint people she didn't know that just came to her, and we were talking through this. If it maybe had something to do with her childhood or well, you know.
And Angela's like peering over to those super creepy dioramas.
He's of course a psychoanalyst because every psychologist on TV is a psychoanalyst. Except in reality, they aren't.
So you say she worked through these in paintings?
Well, I encouraged her to paint some more of them just to see how it felt. And yes, Tyler?
And you got to see some of those? Oh.
I'd like to introduce one of the little visual cards. I believe that's something I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pull in. I can pull it up there. This one. As Carter's looking around, over on the desk, I think we see a painting that's this tunnel, and at the end, we can see kind of just the face coming out of the darkness of a handsome man with long black hair that probably Carter recognizes as from the picture of the other murder victim.
Yeah, the photographs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, you were asking about if I'd seen any of the paintings. Well, yes, she brought some over, but I don't have them here, of course.
Carter goes rigid seeing that,
She's
and
lying. He's
yeah.
lying, of course.
and stands up and like walks past Olaf towards the desk.
He's getting nervous.
Can I still introduce a card myself here? Or is that's probably not, that's too much.
Well, sure.
Sure. Because I think this is when the assistant comes in with the coffee. And I wanted to play this one here. Bungled. That's all it was, a basic failure of hand-eye coordination. The consequences, however, will prove more complex. And I think as Carter takes the painting on the table and has a closer look, wants to turn around to ask about it, and the assistant standing there with the coffee, and either the coffee gets spilled all over the painting and over like her suit or something, like making a mess of the scene, obviously, but changing what the painting is showing.
Really? The painting changes? Like miraculously, or just because there's a stain on it?
There's a stain on it, and
Okay.
I could have. I'm sorry, and as we're I'm sorry, miss. And she there are probably tissues because it's it's just office, right? And
yeah, of course.
tries to wiping that down, and then looks at the painting and is like she saw the face of the that was on the other there, but now it's just a smudge at the end of the tunnel, and it's like, what is this? What's going on here? I think that's or yeah.
Oh, that painting. I'm not sure who made it. I think it might be one of hers. I'm not sure about that, actually.
Can I take it with me? The frame is broken, obviously, because I hit it against the coffee.
Of course. Please do.
Oh, that was good. Oh, that was good.
And that triggers Tina's secret, if I'm not wrong, because it's blue, blue, gray in that order.
So, does that mean I play that scene that's indicated on it immediately?
Yes.
Okay. Well, my secret, can I unveil it on the table, or how would that work?
Yes.
Okay, I'm putting. Oh. Yes. Oh. How would that go bigger? Yes, I'm going to choose a protagonist and then choose 3 simple cards and use them to create a scene that answers the question below. What leads you to the woods near the border, and what do you find there that convinces you the victim was afraid?
I'm gonna take another symbol card out as well. Place the other one. Let's see here. Oh, that's perfect.
Oh. Oh.
Especially with the tunnel just previously, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cutover, I bet, right? We go in onto the tunnel and come out of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was pretty perfect. Good RNG.
Okay. So the scene is at this tunnel, I guess. If that was the cut. And the protagonist, let's see. Or maybe I'm choosing the symbol cards first. Huh.
Yeah,
I think
choose the symbol cards first.
Yes.
You want that
Of
one?
course, I'm using the tunnel. How can I? Oh. Where did it go?
And put them up.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thanks. I think I'd like the keys as well. And also yes, maybe the dog.
Yeah.
Which of course means the protagonist must be Jesse, who owns that dog. And I'm playing the protagonist in the scene, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, what kind of border is this going to be? I think Jessie is after, or maybe before her interview. I think after her interview, just taking out the dog, and the dog just keeps pulling her towards this tunnel. And she's never been there, and she just finds it strange that this tunnel is here, and she's never seen it. Is there any other person in the scene? I mean, is there supposed to be another person in the scene like this?
There can be. It's just the same as any other scene.
Okay.
Maybe Carter is there. She's coming there because we just showed her the tunnel in the last scene.
I guess so. Yeah.
Could be.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah, why not have Jesse meet Carter again? I mean, they've seen each other in the sheriff's department, but now they're meeting again. So, the dog's name was Timmy, right? Timmy? Okay. Yeah. Timmy, don't pull that much. Don't. What? Where are we? Where are you taking me? So, what's it? Hey. And she sees a dark figure and a dark shadowed figure at the end of the tunnel in a suit, a woman in a suit.
Do you want me to play Agent Carter again? Or?
Right. Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think then you're suddenly blinded as from the noise. Carter turns around with the torchlight in her hand, right, and shining strong light at you, and like, oh, excuse me, who's there?
Oh, it's just me. I'm Jessie.
She's coming forward, obviously having like a one hand on her hip, just out of precaution, but then seeing
don't shoot me. Don't shoot me.
It's all right. Jessie. Excuse me, miss. What are you doing out here?
I'm just taking out the dog.
And this far up the abandoned tracks, and I'm shining a light on the dog, right?
To be honest, the dog was pulling me here, and I don't really know where I am. I'm kind of lost. But the dog's been pulling me here. I don't know what's wrong with Timmy.
You were the one that found the girl's body. weren't you?
Who did you say you were?
I'm sorry. I'm Federal Agent Carter, and she takes out her badge to show it to you. We're investigating what's been happening here.
Yes. Actually, it was Timmy who found her. He's been always pulling me into different directions, and
Is he always this rambunctious? Like
No.
Timmy's still barking, right?
actually, no. Timmy's barking all the time. Yeah, it's just I'm not sure if it's a happy barking or just he needs to go. There's more to find. And I don't know. Actually, Timmy's not really that wild. He's just actually a pretty calm dog. It's just happened since he found her.
It seems like he wants to go further down that place over there.
I think. Well, maybe not. You're here with your gun and things. Maybe we could. I think I could follow him.
And I'm pointing the light in the direction that kind of Timmy keeps pulling to and barking at. So we might be able to follow where Timmy is leading us.
Where he's leading us? Probably the keys. I think. As we're following Timmy, we're getting to a big rock in the grass, and Timmy's just running there and pawing at the rock and clawing and Jesse says, Miss Cotter, I think maybe I shouldn't touch that. Maybe you should look what's under there. You see a piece of paper peeking out from under the rock.
Yeah, and I think she we see her squatting down and taking the rock to pull it up and over to see what Timmy's found there.
And it's a note, of course.
A note with keys attached.
That's a bit on the nose. I think it's a note that has something scribbled on it, and it says in red. Well, it looks like some kind of pencil, some red pencil. It couldn't be blood, right? That can't be blood. It just be. What does the note say? Just something threatening. It says.
I'm gonna break in here.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna introduce the parents card. I think it says like, so the card says there's no right reaction when you get news like this, but some reactions are more suspicious than others. And I think the note says something like, I know you're here. I know you're here, Sarah. Sarah. And like ... please come back home. And it says like, I think it says it says, I know a person called Cole, and I was just thinking his name. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Alexander Cole, like signed under. And then you see like there's another note like a little further up, and it says like, it can't be right. You were not chosen. Please come back. And like Alexander Cole again.
But these are what do they? Why is that from her dad? Why does he sign his full name and not just dad?
I'm sorry, miss. I think this is official evidence. You shouldn't
Oh,
be doing this. And she
sorry.
tries to tuck that away. And what was your relationship to Sarah?
Oh, I'm her friend. I mean, I was a friend.
You know her well?
Well, I think so. I'd like to think so. Well, we've been doing art together, art stuff, you know,
Oh,
drawing.
oh, really? What kind of stylistic choices, or what was Sarah interested in? Did you teach her?
I didn't teach her. Well, maybe. Well, how am I supposed to say? I mean, I gave her some plot, and she had these weird dreams. Oh, please don't tell her parents, right? Please don't tell her parents.
No.
But she had these weird dreams that she painted.
I think on that note, like you hear like this sound like someone is stumbling inside a tunnel, and you hear like someone cursing, and there's like this figure walking up towards you. Oh, have you seen Sarah?
Hold, who's there? All right, shine a light around.
Yeah, and you see like this. I think it's like this older man with he has like grayish hair that goes like halfway down, like almost long but not long, so you could take it like back. And he has this like this big like thick glasses. He's like, oh, well,
Excuse me, sir.
I'm Alexander, Sarah's father. I'm looking for her. I've been leaving notes all over.
Oh my god, I don't think he knows she's dead.
Oh,
well, sir,
Jesse, how nice to see you. Have you seen Sarah?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Sir, you better come with us now.
I think I need to leave. The dog is really hungry, and I'm sorry, Mr.
Oh, Timmy.
Oh,
Timmy always liked Sarah. Did you know that? Who are you? Who are you? I haven't seen you before. You're not from here.
No, I'm not. I'm Agent Carter. I'm handling this case. Jesse, I'll see. I'll swing by tomorrow. I'd like to talk more about those paintings, if that be possible. Mr. Cole, if you would please come with me.
Yeah, and just before you leave, I need a new delivery.
Oh, Mr. Cole. Of course, I'm going to tell my mother that you need more of her peaches. The peaches you like so much from the tree in
peaches.
our backyard. Yes, the peaches from our backyard.
No, I was talking about the pot.
I love peaches.
Mr. Cole, please. This is getting me into big trouble. Why would you?
What do you mean? Oh.
And the light goes like from Jesse's face to Alexander's face and back again, right? Who actually says cut when like new things have been introduced? This might be seen.
Yeah, I think so. I think that might be seen. If it's me, then I'm I'm also seen.
Holy crap, that was hilariously wonderful. Oh, that was so neat. By the way, Mikhail, was I supposed to draw a card when I played one of the things from down below?
Yes, you're supposed to. Well, it's the last. I guess we can still use the cards here. So yeah, let's see. You're gonna have one.
I got it.
Oh yeah, good. You could also draw cards. Good. Cool. So now it's the Act 1 close scene. So when everyone has started one scene, this act, whoever last saw a murder on TV starts a new scene with this prompt. I think it's at least like a month since I saw a crime thing. So anyone has any more recent?
3 days maybe.
I think you're beating me. I know I saw something last week, but I bet 3 days beats me.
Matthias?
Yeah, no, not a murder as such, like not as in a crime thing.
Well, then Tina sets the scene again.
Again.
You get all the scene starting here. So the prompt is reporters, film crews, and at least one news helicopter has shown up to dig into the story of the tragedy and splash the victim's name across the nation screens. When a reporter turns to the camera on you. And who is this person?
Yeah, that's a good question. I am deciding between Jessica and the sheriff, but I guess it should probably be the sheriff.
Yeah, you'd be a good one for that. Yeah, and the tone for the scene is shame, pretty fittingly, since it's
Is
also
that on the back?
it's the one we had the most this round.
Oh.
So what that means is that the tone of the scene is like it means the urge to hide the details of the murder from outsiders and pretend like everything is okay, which fits pretty well with what we've seen from the sheriff. So.
Okay. Well, so who plays the reporter?
I can play the reporter.
Okay. So I guess I'm holding a press conference or something like that. It's the very first time I'm doing this because we're just such a small town and nothing's ever happened like this. So Ben is really nervous and has these papers. He's shuffling on the desk and then, yes, Ben, please ask away.
Oh, Caper, question here. ABC News. Can you give me a comment on how close you are to finding the murderer? It's. And you hear like this shouting of people like, "Oh, question," and like, and the blitzing.
Is it true that she was involved in cultists and satanic rituals? Is that something that's going on in your town? Would you comment on that, Sheriff?
Of course not. Please be serious. This is not a thing in our town, and you know it.
Hey, answer my question. I was one with the question.
What was the question again, please?
How close are you to finding the murderer?
Oh, yes. Well, we're following a couple of leads and exhausting every kind of source. And we've questioned the friends, of course, and family, which is the most important kind of thing to do quickly in these kinds of cases, of course.
Thank you for explaining
rattling
that
off what he's read in some kind of manual. Well, yes, we're following a couple of leads, but we can't discuss publicly.
Oh, Sheriff.
Details.
New question. I'm from I think like Tall Pines local press. Do you believe that the family is involved? I've heard rumors.
We can't rule out anything, but right now I wouldn't say no.
Sheriff. How do you feel about the federal officers getting involved in this? It's a bit surprising for a small murder in Tall Pines, don't you think?
Yeah, well, we asked the federal agency to aid us in this investigation because this is the first time this kind of thing has happened, and apparently, he was just about to say a similar case somewhere else, but just biting his lip. Apparently, it's there are some circumstances that may point to federal involvement that
Yeah, and I think
maybe
like
it's not local.
at that, like everyone was like, "Is it a serial killer? Is it a serial killer? I've heard it's a serial killer."
There are no indications for that right now. I can't say anything else.
If I could
Yeah.
throw one in here, just to, we see a kind of scruffy-looking reporter pull his hand up and go, Aiken from the Paranormal Times. Does it have something to do with the curse, Sheriff?
Sheriff makes fun. Well, Sheriff, of course, also knows about the curse and just goes pale. Well, of course not. We don't have a curse here. You know that. You know that quite well. We don't go by rumors here. Anyway.
Cool. I think that's seen. And with that, we'll take like a 5-minute break. Yeah, see you back here in 5.
Mm-hmm. Mikael?
Yeah.
Is that something you've done consciously? Or this, I've got a steal request.
Yeah, no, I was because I was going to delete the scene Act 1 cards.
So
But,
I'm letting it.
But I found that I can recall the cards, so you don't have them anymore from the deck.
Okay. So I'm letting it go, or the way?
You don't have to do anything because they're already gone. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Oh, I thought you would, if you save cards, you get to keep them over the other acts.
Don't know. I don't think so. The act cards are quite different, actually, I think. So, yeah. Yeah, sure. So any remaining Act Scene 1 cards players may have on all return to Act 1 scene cards to the box. Yeah. Collect any remaining.
I had a good one.
Yeah, I had a few good ones too, but yeah, well. It's a harsh life of the story gamer. So, we're all back. Let's see, I'm just going to find the Act 2 close here. Let's see. Act 2 close, show 1 card. Okay, so but what is on the other side here? Oh. Okay, I guess you're supposed to look at that too, but well, we did not do that.
Oh.
There's a lot of things on the cards.
What did the Act 1 close card have?
I deleted it. I don't know.
Whatever.
Well, I'll share it in the post game chat just to see here. So the Act 2 close is when everyone has started one scene that this act, whoever last spilled blood starts a new scene with this prompt. An angry mob has formed following a fiery speech about the murder at the town gathering, and they show up at the police station demanding action. When you have a moment to make your voice heard over the crowd. ... So, does anyone want to start this one?
Not me again.
I can.
Somebody
Yeah,
else.
Or go ahead if you want to, Mathai.
No, sure, you go ahead. I just had a very loose idea, so.
All right. Just checking my cards real quick. Okay. And my secret needs that, and that. Okay. All right. I'm going to there we go. Okay. I think I'm going to have Jessica in the scene. And I have kind of a tight little scene. So I may just have it with her. I know that seems sort of selfish if that's possible. And of course, people can do stuff to get into it. But just going to have this kind of tight scene with her. And then anybody add in if they want. And I'll probably pop out of it fairly quick. And I'm going to be playing, yes, this card. Which is, yes, Hole in the Woods. Who would want to go down there? And we see Jessica. She's headed across to where the body was found, and is walking the beach. We could see she's been crying. It's nighttime, and as she walks down beside the river, she begins, she's just all teared up, and as the moon is sort of shining over the trees, she's calling, oh, Sarah, I'm gonna miss you so. Now what am I gonna do? And she begins kind of walking along this beach as she hears a voice kind of in the woods, begins following it over. We see this opening in the side of one of the little hills there, this sort of cave. And as she walks up to it, in the cave, she hears this voice of a man, very attractive, silky sort of voice. Jessica, Sarah's missing you. Don't you want to see Sarah? Why don't you come? Come on in here. Sarah and I would love to have you join us. We see Jessica sort of in this, almost like a fugue state, walk over towards the opening of this cave, this hole. And as she passes in, I think that scene. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna add something. I think like you see, I'm gonna add this card, and I think like as she goes in, you see like almost like the fog like thickening, like just it's like going in slow motion in, and you see like going back, the camera pans back, and you see like the fog just like kind of thickening behind her.
Lovely. All right, sound good for scene? Cool.
Cool. We have understanding for this one, so act 2 there was understanding, and there was Jessica, so shame and understanding. And then there's Matthias's turn.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just going to do this because, of course, we need this scene somewhere along the line now. That's the funeral. But I'm going to make the protagonist be Raven. And they're there filming the funeral. And right, going like from little group to little group, person to person, sometimes way too close to their face, and basically everybody's here, right? So if you want to play anybody that gets caught on tape about this, I think that might be happening. So we get a way too shaky cam for this whole thing, and like a zoom in on the priest giving the speech, but then like there's no patience, zoom out again, and like panning across the folk there, and like there's even the commentary. Yes, those were her parents, and there's rumors her father is arrested and only on leave for a funeral for today. Well, let's head over there and see what they're up to. And they go over and probably pass along. Oh, here's a good question. Is Jessica here today or isn't she?
I was thinking, no, Jessica, because if, as you say, people could be there. I think we see Jessica's parents walking around saying, "Have you seen Jessica? Jessica would have wanted to be here."
Yeah, and we catch that on film. Yeah. And I think then we pass like a very, I don't know, how's Olaf Eriksson looking? Like he's probably kind of more separate from the other townsfolk, right? But we get to see him as well. Question is, overdressed or underdressed?
I think I'm gonna actually play a card on this. I think we
Okay.
see him on. I think you see him on like he's sitting like on the church step, and he's like with his like pipe, and he has like a full like black suit, but like a very like colorful shirt. It looks a little silly, which is like open button down, and he likes. You see, he has like very like bloodshot eyes, and his hair is like a little all over the place, like he hasn't slept for a while or just came out of bed or something.
Ooh, Miss Erickson.
And he like puts on this pipe, and you get like this sweet smell of like pot all over like the the graveyard. He's just like, oh, so horrible.
And Jesse's making a fortune, I guess.
Who's sitting next to Olaf?
Well,
Timmy.
he has a wife.
Yeah,
Timmy, the
that's cool.
dog.
Yeah, and I think you hear like Olaf saying like, Sarah had some problems.
And Timmy.
Yeah, and I think because he doesn't like blow it fully away before like starts talking, so like you get like this cloud of pot like onto the dog. And it says, she was in some bad relationships.
Yeah, and Timmy puts his chin on Olaf's thigh, right, to rest the head. Maybe get a scratch.
Yeah, and you see like this tear coming down from his eye, and he's like petting the dog. You're a good friend.
I think that would be seen unless someone else wants to add something.
Cool. Yeah, I think I want to. There's the prompt: if you discuss the victim's problems in the last scene, flip this card over. Like we haven't done it yet, so I would kind of try to argue for that for Olaf.
Yeah, I discussed it with Timmy.
Yeah. So flip it over. Oh, lol. If you reveal someone's dark secrets in the last scene, what?
Maybe so. It's supposed to.
Okay, yeah, it's just a new prompt.
Right.
Well, I thought there would be something crazy. I didn't even know what to stand back there because I just was mind numb when I cut all this out for hours. Cool. Well,
does Tina get a new secret once you use your secret? Do you get more?
No.
No. Okay.
That's the one secret. So yeah, and let's see. Now it's my scene.
Yeah, and we had. Do you count the protagonist one too from the suit?
Oh yeah. We have shame. I didn't notice to take the suits at all. Let's see. We have our resolve, a shame, and
Shame from Raven.
Shame from Raven. We have a lot of shame going on in all the scenes. So okay, so I think yeah, I think let's see. I have a few weird cards here. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, cool. So I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play this card, which is fire. Nothing cleans better than a bind makes the shadows lengthen. I think it's time for a weird scene. Let's see. I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna have Glenn be the main character in this scene, and I think he's encroaching on Jessica, who is well, actually, I'm gonna do it the other way around. I'm gonna make Jessica the main character of the scene, and Glenn is like discovering her burning pictures of Sarah. So I think it's like in the evening. I imagine it being maybe, I think it's in Jessica's, like outside Jessica's place. I think she lives in like a trailer with her mother, and it's like it's a pretty big one. Like it's built on like this platform, and there is like this old like oil barrel outside, which is like lit up with fire. It's like a red one, like a little rusty. And you see like the flames like flickering on her face as she like looks at a picture of, I think it's of Sarah painting actually. As she like throws it in, you see like the camera like pan up a little bit, and you see Glenn coming up to her with like the flames, like the shadows flickering on his face. I think I'd like to ask Tyler to play Glenn. Do you want?
Alrighty.
And as like she throws another like picture into the barrel, and she sees like Glenn coming up, and it's like, oh, hey.
Jessica, your parents were a little worried about you. You took off for a day or two. You all right?
And she takes another picture, and like I think it's a picture of, you see like the camera pan over her again. You see like it's a picture of Sarah and Raven. I think Sarah is like kissing Raven on the cheek, like they're smiling, and she like looks at it for a little bit, and she throws it into the barrel and says, "No, I'm not all right."
What's happened? What are you burning there?
Old pictures.
Looks like pictures of Sarah.
And she takes another picture, and you see it's I think it's Sarah outside this hole in the woods. She's having like this flowery crown on, and is smiling, and she throws it like into the barrel. Yeah, it is.
I've got this. I want to play here. When the dead speak.
Oh.
The words echo across the years, audible only to you. Maybe the darkness has been here longer than anyone imagines. And I think as like the picture crumbles up into the flame, we get the completely engulfed POV from Jessica, where we see Glenn saying something, but it's just his mouth moving, and we hear presumably Sarah's voice. right? Jessica, Jessica, Jessica. Come, come, come and help. No, no, run, run. They're out for you, they're out for you. And then like Glenn's face gets in the camera, checking her, and we still don't hear anything. No, no, don't go, don't leave us, don't leave us.
Are you all right, Jessica? Are you okay? You're muted here.
Yeah, I think you see like Jessica like clutching the pictures and just like shaking. And I think like you see the camera pan over again. You see the picture she's holding. It's like in the cave where it's just like I think it's like this big like mural of this. I think it's like a big. It looks a little strange, but it's like with big colorful, and it's like this creature with like it looks like kind of a feral almost, with like a like blonde girl in his like arms, with his like mouth up, like with the teeth bare, and I think that's the scene.
Awesome. And I think that gets my secret out.
Yeah. It does.
So there's my secret. Let's see.
I think also I'm going to flip Jessica. Actually, she did. I think she did something risky in that scene, like doing that in front of the cop.
Yeah, I think so too. That makes sense. Can you enlarge the card? I'm not good at that. Okay. Choose a protagonist, then choose 3 symbol cards and create a scene. Where are you when you receive the envelope full of photos, and who do they show in a compromising position with the victim?
What are these cards?
I think I'm going to do this one, and oh yeah, this one. And I think the protagonist we're going to see is Agent Carter. Agent Carter is in her hotel room. It's probably, it's been a few days since the funeral, and Carter's got things laid out. Probably has the full murder board up where she's got things tacked on the wall and the strings in between them, and we see like Alexander up there, and we see Jesse and Raven. We see all these people up there, and she's staring at it. When there's a knock on the door of the hotel room, she rushes over, opens up the door. No one's there. She looks down. We see a manila envelope. She looks out. Nobody on the landing. She picks it up, opens it, pulls out, and there's a series of photographs. Looks like they were taken with a long lens. And we see Sarah. It looks like maybe they're even pictures through a window. We see Sarah, and she's kind of in bondage outfit. She's tied up. We see another photo of her with like a riding crop and a ball gag in her mouth. And as Carter's flipping through these pictures, we see that old dilapidated house where the kids go hang out, all of that. And then as we pull that last picture, we see Olaf in a leather dog mask kind of thing over the top of him. He's got like a tail that comes out of his little thongs that he's wearing, and he's down on all fours. And we see Sarah with the riding crop preparing to paddle him.
Nice.
Who in the world took those photos?
Yes.
In the water.
That's a good question.
Must be a third person there.
Hmm. Yeah, I think maybe that's if no one else has anything, that could be also just be seen.
I think that's perfect. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, the plot thickens.
That was the end of Act 2, right?
Yeah, it was actually, wasn't it?
Yeah. We had
Yeah.
everyone had a scene.
Yeah.
Did you have a
Not-
scene, Tina?
You know?
I'm not sure. Did I?
Or
I
did
started.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
Yeah.
Because I did the picture thing, and then
it's
you,
just because you had the last two scenes of the previous act. Yeah.
yeah, you still have the last scene, so
And then there's the closing.
closing
afterwards.
act. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to play the where did it go? The dead animal. And oh yes, thank you. It's of course Timmy. Timmy's dead.
Oh no.
I think so, yes. I'm afraid. And I'm well, I had an idea before and now I've lost it. Who's going to be the protagonist? I think it's it may be Jesse again, but it could also be Olaf. I think Olaf is better because of the dog mask
Mm.
and the dead dog.
Yeah, I like that.
So, where? Yes, I think Olaf is sitting in his office, and I don't know if there's somebody else there. I guess the sheriff may arrive if he calls him. Well, he's sitting in his office, and suddenly he's noticing that there's something on a lawn down there. And what's that? And he's getting up and just can't see what it is. It's just some gray and red spot. So he's just going out. Ooh, or maybe he has some binoculars. Yeah, I think he always has some binoculars in the drawer and just pulls them out. And what is this? It's some kind of. Is this dead? And he's going out and as he's getting closer, he sees it's a dead dog. I'm just wondering if he knows it's Timmy. I don't think he knows Timmy. Oh no, of course he knows Timmy. He's been talking to him. So he's just horrified. This is Timmy. It's what happened? Well, this is not. Somebody killed that dog. And he calls the sheriff over, I think, to report it. And I think he arrives on the scene. I mean, we can cut the wait, I guess.
Mm. Who's playing the sheriff?
Someone like to? Tyler?
I can go, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Mr. Erickson, I came as soon as I could. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done at the office. I'm sorry. I was like drowned in a pile of papers about, yeah, you know, murder. I mean,
Yes.
oh,
I'm sure.
is that Timmy?
It is. I'm free. I believe. I don't. I feel this is like. I feel threatened. I've had a special relationship with Timmy, you know. I could talk, but I like the dog, you know. He's a friendly dog. He was. Tyler?
I
Yeah.
think I want to throw something in. I'm going to throw in the anonymous tip. As the two of them have gone over to look at Timmy, we see that he's dead, but we see he's got a ball gag that has been put into his mouth, and something has been scratched into the ball gag that says, "Sarah misses you, Doctor."
Yeah, and I think you see like Caper going over to the dog and like, oh, Olaf,
Sheriff?
and he like turns around and is like holding his gun in his holster. I think you need to come to the station.
But why?
Put your hands up, please. Put your hands up.
Obviously, I didn't do this. Of course, I'm sorry.
You have the right to an attorney. Anything you will say will be used against you in a court or something. I think that's how it goes. Yes.
You mean? Yes,
And he like fiddles with his like handcuffs on his belt and is like,
that won't be necessary. I'm coming with you. I'm not resisting.
Oh.
But when
I'm sure
you want. Yes.
Yeah, that's okay. Do you like donuts?
I'm afraid I can't eat anything right now.
Well, get in the car.
But
Front
what
seat
about
so
Timmy?
I can see you.
Isn't
Timmy.
this a crime scene? And evidence?
I think he just like picks Timmy up and is like, "It's fine. I'm just gonna put him in a trunk."
But isn't this evidence?
Oh.
Maybe we should call Agent.
He like puts him down again. Is like, sure. I'm gonna call Carter. She'll know what to do. Oh, we're going to the police station. I don't have to call her. She's there. Get in the car.
We're picking.
No, get in the car. And he like waves around his gun a little bit. He's like, please get in the car.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, hands where I can see them.
Yes. He's totally nervous and just, oh my God, it's all coming out now. And I think that's scene.
Oh my God, I love this sheriff.
He's a fun person to play. So we got shame. Well, no surprise, shame won 7-1 this round. So that was the last scene of this act. When everyone has started a scene, this act, whoever's last spilled blood starts a new scene with this prompt. I think I did that like 2 weeks ago when I was renovating my living room. Yeah, that's my last time.
I cook. I cut myself last week, but
anyone who's earlier than that? No.
Yeah, I invariably cut myself about once a week on something.
So you have also, let's flip it also. We can read out the prompt first.
See, an angry mob is formed following a fiery speech about a murder at a town gathering, and they show up at the police station demanding action when you have a moment to make your voice heard over the crowd.
This is right when they arrive from the slab.
That's perfect.
With the dead dog.
Yeah, that's good.
You know.
So we have shame. So include a lewdly inappropriate outburst. Well, that's good.
Oh, that is good. Let's see. I choose a protagonist that is part of the crowd, or is that right?
I mean, when you have a moment, you make your voice heard over the crowd. So it has to be, it doesn't have to be in the crowd in that way, I guess.
Okay.
Could be.
It could be, though. Okay. And by the way, did we flip Olaf?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he definitely needs to be flipped.
Okay. I think it's going to be Raven that is there. And I think Raven is part of the mob. And so we have this mob who's shown up at the police station, and they are out for blood for Olaf. They've heard the rumor coming around. This is a small town, so the words travel fast. They've heard that Olaf's been arrested. And of course, Olaf is the town's therapist, so he has everybody's secrets. So the town is like coming in, wanting him silenced, and they're, he clearly is some horrible deviant. We're going to go, and so there's this row of them. I'm guessing we've got Carter and the sheriff that are there probably to try and calm down the mob. Sound good? Who wants to deal with them?
I can be Agent Carter again. I played her before.
Anybody want to be the sheriff?
I mean, I won't hog him, but if you don't want to now, I'll definitely take him.
Do it.
All right, so I think we see the mob showing up, and this is a middle of nowhere sort of town, so they probably got guns with them. We probably see them with their rifles and stuff coming up there, and they're, Sheriff, that deviant, he needs to be strung up now. He killed Sarah.
Calm down. Everyone has right to, and he's like, court. We have justice in this country. Justice. Calm down.
Raven speaks up. There's no justice for Sarah. Sarah didn't get justice. Why does he deserve justice?
I mean, he's innocent until otherwise proved. That's how it goes, I think. Calm down. Can you move away? I need to get through into the station, please.
People are crying, justice for Sarah! Justice for Sarah! Justice!
I think like he's lost out. Carter, come out here.
And yeah, Carter has been like talking to some deputies over there, actually like giving instructions of what to do in this kind of situation. And here's her name and looks over and is like, "Oh, Glen Caper, I think we've got us quite a situation here."
Yeah, I would say so. Can you please help me detain this suspect for investigation, please?
He's a murderer.
Which one?
Justice for Sarah.
We don't know that. We just know he's doing inappropriate thing with ball gags, and he like holds the dog under his up from like taking it under his arm, up from the card bunk, and you see like the dead dog with like the gag in his mouth, like under his arm.
Ugh.
Yes, he's suspect of murdering the dog. Oh.
Wait. Okay, come inside, come in. People, move. And she gets out her commanding voice and to push people.
You muted.
Yeah. Glenn can come through and
as they're moving through, Raven moves up close to Glenn as he's hauling Olaf by, and in a kind of quiet voice looks at the sheriff and says, "An innocent must die to stop the curse," and looks at Olaf as they pass through.
Olaf just, yeah.
I think that's a scene, kind of, actually.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, that was Act 2, folks. I think I'm gonna have to like export the sheriff into another game. I love playing him too much. So now we're in Act 3. Let's see. I'm gonna deal Deck
Did
3
we lose
cards.
Tina? Are you frozen, hon?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm still
Oh,
here.
there you are. I just had you in this pose, and you were stuck.
Oh. Well, I guess I must have been frozen, but.
So here we got
Nothing
some new cards. Oh, these are so good.
I'd have an easy opening, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go if you want.
I think what finally breaks up the revolt outside of the police station is that it suddenly starts. The skies break open, and there's like a downpour, and it rains all through the night. And the next morning, we open up to a to like a total shot of the town. We're looking at the town, completely engulfed in fog, and you only see the silhouettes of houses. And I think we see this. We get a couple of like quiet montages of like the individual people sitting everywhere, right? But I'm going to pick. I think I am going to pick. I'm going to pick Carter here. But we still get this like a shot of like Caper looking out of an office and scratching his head, and shot of a couple of the other townsfolk, and then we end on resting basically on Olaf sitting in his cell, like with his hand in his head in his hands, and or not in his cell, in the interrogation room. And there's the mirrored window in it, and we go to the other side, and we see Agent Angela Carter alone there, with like files spread out across from her, looking and just watching Olaf, and probably starting to talk to herself. And she pulls out the pictures of the last crime scenes, and goes, "Oh well, Mr. Erickson, obvious you had an affair with this underage lady, but there's more going on in this town." And right, she's got the notes from Alexander there, which were like very strange, like the burnt residue of the photos that Jessica was burning up. And yeah, I think she's putting the pieces together in this quiet moment. And that's scene.
Cool. So we got a shame and a resolve. I think I wanna do some other potential perpetrators in this scene. I think I'm gonna play this one. The old mine tunnels. A dozen paces in and daylight vanishes. 2 dozen and the only lifeline you have is the light you carry. If you wanted to hide or hide something, this might be too good a choice. And I think I'm gonna play Raven in this scene. And actually, I think, I think Jessica is there too. Do you want to play Jessica, Tina?
Okay.
I think you see, like, there's this still like this this railway tunnel. No, all mine tunnel. Yes, all mine tunnel. Okay, sure. So it's like, I think it's we like walk into like this it's like an old building there, and you see like it's like a quarry or something outside, like with old rusted like machines and stuff. Like there's this like small train like thing which they probably used to like transport metal out of here. I think it was like actually I think it was like a silver mine, but it's all like rusted down and like it's probably like filled with like very bad graffiti, and like the whole thing is pretty like very like shabby. It's been at least like 30 years since the last people who worked here got sacked, and the tall pines like deteriorated. The population went down a lot, and you see like it's still this like fog, and I think you see like Raven with he wears like, it seems like almost like a cape. It seems a little weird, and has this thing under his arm, but you can't really like see it because the cape is like appropriately like taken over, so you can't really see what it is. But it's something that is big enough that he has to like have it under his arm, and he says like, "Come on, Jessica, we have to do this."
Yes. I see now. Yes. Please follow me. I'm leading the way. I know where to go.
Take like the flashlight up and like, yeah, go first. You know where it is.
Follow me. This is the right place. You don't have to be afraid. Jessica's been weird for a while. Don't be afraid of the fog.
I'm not afraid. I'm just.
You don't have to be afraid. It's all right. Come on. It's for the best.
Sure. Yeah. I guess it is.
What is that under your cape?
No, I thought Jessica would like to have these.
What are they? Please come along. Don't stop. Please. We can walk while we're talking.
Yeah, there are several things. There's
Sarah's.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. May I see them?
I want to wait until we get there. But Sarah's there, right?
Sarah's there. Yes, of course she is.
Oh, she'll be happy when she get these. Yeah, Tyler.
I want to pull a card up, as I think we see as they're moving along, and I'm guessing we're heading back towards maybe that mural. I don't know. But I think as the light, and they're talking, so they're not looking as much, I think we kind of see it flash across, and we see that man's face just for a second as the light shines down the tunnel, but passes right over it. Neither of them see him. We just see that handsome face, and he's got this very wolfish grin on his smile there, and his eyes are kind of glowing in the light. We just see it for a second.
Perfect.
You should really tell her to come back. I mean, people think she's. Well, they said they found her body. I don't understand. Like, how did she do that?
To what?
I mean, we're gonna meet her, right?
Yes, you're gonna meet her. Can I play a card?
Yeah.
I haven't done it before, but.
Oh my.
Well, Jessica suddenly becomes very intense. She's been pretty detached before, and now she's. You, Raven, you are going to meet her soon. And she suddenly has this urge and is lifting her hands and just reaching for Raven's neck. And then just trying to strangle him.
Yeah,
in this kind of trance.
I think like Raven like throws away like the thing under his cape, and you see like all these like watercolors and like pencils like rolling out. It's like, what the fuck, Jessica? What the fuck are you doing?
Jessica is just shaking her head, and I didn't do anything. What are you talking about?
You're fucking crazy. I'm telling the
happened?
police.
Fuck
what you.
Happened?
She's dead.
Why are you on the floor? What happened? What are these things?
Yeah, and I think like Raven gets up and like, you're fucking crazy. You should see Erickson. Well, he's fucking crazy too, I guess. So fuck that. And they like run off. Let's think the scene.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that was Raven. Yeah. So we have shame, resolve, understanding.
No secret associated with.
And you get to draw a new card from the deck.
I got one.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna draw another one here for. Yeah, and then it's Tina. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, that was also a good card. I wonder who this is.
Which?
You got a new symbol card with a cigarette.
Oh. What? Could be Jesse or Erickson. I think it's going to be Erickson, and I'm playing this love in an unlikely place. I think it's Erickson, and maybe he's already in the cell, or maybe he's back in the interrogation room, and Should it be the sheriff who's talking to him? That would be funny. But it's probably more Agent Carter, right?
Could also be a visitor.
Or it could be a
Or
visitor, right? It could be
Or someone who's been arrested for growing illegal substances.
And maybe they are in the cell, right? Maybe there are. I mean, there's maybe 2 cells in the sheriff's department, and they can talk to each other. Yes, that would be cool.
Top security.
So, yes. So he's in the cell, and in the opposite cell, there's Jesse, who's been arrested for selling pot to everybody. And he's just talking to her idly and says, you know, I really loved her, Jessica. This was special. I didn't kill her. I would never kill her.
Who's playing Jesse?
Oh, good question. How about Matthias?
Yep. Did you know? And we hear the striking of a match. I'm immediately going to pull this card. She's going to light a joint in jail. Like, they haven't taken the stuff off. And what are you looking at me for? I mean, I'm already in for, like, this won't make it worse.
Can I have it?
Well,
He's
she goes to the
taking it off.
bars and like reaches through the bars. So, yeah.
So how did you know her?
Well, she came over to, I love to paint. And I look at the barren white wall. I'm like, if you got a canvas, you need to fill it.
I
Well,
see.
Sarah used to come over and
You made her paint these things, I guess. She showed me.
Oh, she showed you. Oh, well, of course.
Paintings. I was her therapist.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah, she was a beautiful creature. You're right about that. I can totally see this.
Yeah.
Olaf.
But I didn't kill her. This just looks strange, but it was actually her idea, and well, of course she's just way too young, but she wanted it.
And Jesse, like, reaching over to take the joint back, right? There's this short squeeze of your hand. She takes the joint. And kind of gives you an understanding look, or as if saying, like, as if like there's a thing passing between you. Yes, I completely know and understand what she meant to you, because same over here, right? And takes a drag.
Well, I wonder who they find who did it. I mean, who? It must be someone.
Tyler?
It wasn't you. Yeah?
I think I want to pull in a card out of my hand. Murder begets murder. I think as they're having this moment, we see Sarah's dad, Alexander. We see one of the deputies kind of opening the door into the back of the cells for him. He says, "Make it quick."
Oh no.
As Alexander comes walking in, pulls out a gun, points it at Olaf. You son of a bitch. She was too good for you. And we just hear the gun go off. And if y'all want to
And Jesse's
Yeah.
screaming. Yeah.
Perfect. Let's see, I think.
A lot of shame again.
Yeah. We're on the same train, that's for sure. Let's see. Yeah. So
I also get to pull a card.
yeah. You can, yeah. Cool. So now we have the last scene with Taylor. I'm just gonna also put out the Act 3 close here. Let's see.
And is it right to kill one of our primaries? Or
Sure.
should he? Is it? Okay. All right, then. I think we probably had Olaf get shot there and killed.
Yeah. That's how it sounds to me as well.
And so I'm going to do the scene there. Can enlarge it because I should have read it before I
Yeah.
put it out, shouldn't I? The numbing sounds of human industry. Time has passed and things have resumed their old rhythm, for most anyway. Maybe it's easier to just forget. And I think we're going to see Agent Carter and Caper. I think I'll have Carter as the primary. So who'd like to play Caper?
I mean, you don't have to ask twice if I want to.
Feel free. All right. Carter's like, I don't care what they're saying. I don't think Erickson did this.
I mean, how much more red-handed can you get? Also, he's, new to town. So
there are plenty of questions that haven't been answered yet, Caper. Your town, there are so many secrets buried underneath here that, there's no way that this, you saw him. He was completely distraught by her death. He didn't do this.
Maybe it was like some kind of game or something, they were doing like, maybe it was an accident. Well, it was a little weird with the scratching in the tree, if it was an accident, maybe.
She was stabbed 12 times. There's no way that was an accident.
Yeah.
Caper, you may be saying this case is closed, but I'm going to keep an eye on it.
Well, there's nothing to see here in Tall Pines, that's for sure. We're a lovely community. You should come to like the summer party. We go like make a bonfire, dance around it. It's very nice.
Caper, the only thing that doesn't stink in this town are the donuts. And she stalks off.
Yeah, and I think you see like Caper like, oh.
And that's scene.
Cool. Oh, that was great. So we have more shame.
Of course.
So much shame.
And some resolve. But we're also on shame on this one. So when everyone has started one scene this act, whoever last forgave someone starts a new scene with this prompt. I think this is pretty recent. Like I have, maybe like 2 days ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna flip. So you caught the killer unaware in a place where they thought they were safe, hidden. Unfortunately, you are not exactly prepared for this either. You both size each other up as they tense as it tends to make a move. ...
Lucky them.
Okay, and let's see what's. So shame. Include the killer's allowed escape.
Mm.
Where's the killer?
Yeah, I think. I think actually it's Caper.
Yeah, this was mine.
Who is like the one who is like in a situation surprised. And who is the other one? I think.
So Caper surprises the killer, or
Okay.
Or wait a second. Yeah, no, actually, I think actually someone surprises Caper. I think it's Jessica. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's like in this. It's in this cave with the mural. It's you see Jessica like going in with the same like fog dancing behind her, and you see. I think you see like. I think you see Caper like in front of the mural with I think it's like a deer or something that's lying in front of him that is like skinned, and you see like there's some like blood. There's blood on his hands, and as he like turns around, and there's like some blood on. There's a lot of like blood on his clothes and a little bit in his face. And he like when you see like he turns around and he says just, "Oh, Jessica, that was a surprise." And who wants to play Jessica?
I can do it.
Sure. I didn't expect you here now.
Sheriff Caper, it's you. I didn't expect you here either.
Well, I mean, someone's got to take care of the town. It's
Certainly.
this is awkward.
You're the right person for that, yes.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's another 13 years until next time. I'll be retired by then, I think. And yes, Jessica, I was thinking maybe you should.
You think I should be your successor?
Ah, that's exactly why I was thinking that, because you're much brighter than me. You'd be an excellent sheriff.
Oh, as a sheriff, I understand.
Oh no,
Oh.
I didn't mean as a sheriff, but it's much easier if you're the sheriff.
Oh.
You see, I had Carter fooled very, very easily. It was no problem. Just gave her some donuts and she was on her way.
I understand. Well,
do you?
So just donuts are the secret
ingredient?
I see.
No. The secret is that there is this terrible. I think it's there's a curse. Let me tell you about the curse.
There's a curse? I hadn't noticed.
Well, every 13th year, there is this. Well, to be honest, I don't exactly know what it is. It was the last person he died before he could tell me like the complete story. But
she was closer slowly.
Hmm?
Just approaching him slowly while he's talking.
Yeah. But I think it slowly like makes people go mad. You haven't felt the effects of that, have you, Jessica?
madness, you mean? I can't say I have. I can't say no, I don't think so. And she's clearly still in some kind of trance-like state and just no.
You see, that's why we need the sacrifices. If not, the whole Tall Pines will go mad. I mean, we wouldn't want that to happen to our lovely little town, would we? Yeah.
Tyler?
I want to put in a card real quick. Flashing red lights. I think we begin to see those feral red eyes in the darkness just flash here. Then we see flashing a little closer, a little closer.
Yeah, and I think like Caper, like I think he like grabs a hold of Jessica, like pretty like strong in the arm, and say, "They here. I brought you a deer. I hope there's a worthy sacrifice." And he looks over to Jessica with like a little panicked look in his face. A successor. I don't know the title. I'm sorry, spirits, but you're accepting this now, right, Jessica? It's okay. You're the new. Yeah.
Yes, of course I am.
Yeah, and I think like well, we gave you Sarah. It should be enough now, and a deer, and a dog, and a successor. And I think you see like the eyes like darting around, and you hear this like wolf howl in the background, and I think that's seen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was nice. Oh, I wanted Jessica to kill him.
Yeah, she's been thinking about it. She was approaching him menacingly, but we were supposed to allow him to escape, right?
That's true.
Yeah, you could have, if you had more resolve, you could include the killer's death by blunt force. So, it was the fate. Well,
Nice.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a ton of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
creepy.
Yeah, thanks a lot for playing Tall Pines with me. It was great. I'm gonna just go off air now, and we can have like a short talk about the game afterwards if you want.
Mm-hmm.
So